Welcome to Secrets of Earth. I'm Patrick Viersba, your guide into the world's most remote corners. Today, we leave the windswept grasslands of Central Asia and climb into a world of mist, moss, and towering bamboo. Hidden among the cloud-covered mountains of western China lives an animal recognized around the globe, yet still deeply misunderstood. Today, we journey into the quiet kingdom of the giant panda. Morning arrives differently in these mountains. Before sunlight reaches the forest floor, clouds drift between ancient firs and broad-leaved trees like slow-moving rivers. Moisture hangs in the air, beating on every leaf until the entire forest glitters with droplets. The ground is soft beneath a thick carpet of moss, broken only by the occasional crack of a fallen bamboo stem. Sound travels strangely here. A distant bird call seems close enough to touch. Water trickling through hidden ravines echoes between the slopes. Somewhere in the undergrowth, bamboo stalks knock gently together as the wind threads its way through the valley. For thousands of years, these mountains have remained one of the last great refuges of temperate forest in Asia. They are beautiful, they are isolated, and for one remarkable bear, they are home. The giant panda inhabits a chain of mountain ranges in China's Sichuan, Shanxi, and Gansu provinces, spending most of its life between about 1,200 and 3,400 meters above sea level. Here, dense bamboo forests flourish beneath cool, damp conditions that change dramatically with the seasons. Winter blankets the higher slopes in snow. Spring awakens fresh bamboo shoots. Summer fills the valleys with mist. Autumn paints the forest gold before another long winter returns. Every season reshapes the mountain. Every season reshapes the panda's life. Few animals have become as recognizable as the giant panda. Its rounded face, its unmistakable black and white coat, its slow, deliberate movements. For generations, it has appeared on children's books, conservation posters, coins, and postage stamps. It has become a global symbol for wildlife protection. But familiarity can be misleading. The more we think we know the panda, the more surprising it becomes. People often joke that the panda is nature's greatest mistake. A bear that barely hunts. A carnivore that survives almost entirely on plants. A powerful mammal that seems content to spend most of its day sitting quietly while chewing bamboo. From a human perspective, it seems almost absurd. Why would evolution produce a bear that eats one of the least nutritious foods available? The answer is, it didn't. Evolution didn't make a mistake. It made a specialist. Over millions of years, the giant panda transformed itself into one of Earth's most extraordinary examples of evolutionary commitment. Almost every part of its body, from its wrists to its jaws, from its metabolism to its reproductive cycle, has been shaped around a single resource: bamboo. And once you begin to understand that commitment, the panda stops looking like an evolutionary oddity. Instead, it begins to look like an engineering masterpiece. If someone handed you a stalk of bamboo, you might instinctively grip it with your thumb and fingers before peeling away the outer layers. That simple movement depends on one of the defining features of the human hand, an opposable thumb. Bears don't have one. Their paws are built for digging, climbing, tearing apart logs, and occasionally catching prey. Strong claws make excellent tools for those jobs, but they're poor instruments for delicate manipulation. So, how does a panda handle bamboo with such remarkable precision? The answer lies hidden inside its wrist. Watch a panda during breakfast. It settles onto its haunches almost like a person sitting cross-legged. One paw reaches for a bamboo stem. The other steadies it. Then, with astonishing dexterity, the animal rotates the stalk, strips away tough outer fibers, snaps it into smaller sections, and feeds it into its mouth almost as if using chopsticks. For many years, scientists wondered how a bear had learned such careful control. The mystery was solved by looking beneath the skin. Inside the panda's wrist sits a small bone called the radial sesamoid. Most mammals possess one. Usually, it's tiny and unremarkable. In pandas, evolution enlarged it dramatically. Over millions of years, surrounding muscles and connective tissues adapted until that wrist bone functioned almost like an extra thumb. Not a true finger, not a sixth digit in the genetic sense, but an incredibly effective gripping tool. The evolutionary biologist Stephen Jay Gould famously described it as one of nature's finest examples of an evolutionary workaround. Rather than inventing an entirely new thumb, evolution modified an existing structure into something that accomplished nearly the same task. It's a reminder that evolution rarely starts from scratch. Instead, it tinkers, it modifies, it repurposes. The panda's pseudo-thumb may not be perfect, but perfection was never the goal. It only needed to work well enough. And it does, remarkably well. Fossils tell us that early panda ancestors already possessed an enlarged radial sesamoid around 6 to 7 million years ago. Even then, their descendants had begun committing themselves to a bamboo-rich lifestyle. Once that commitment began, the rest of the body followed. The panda's skull broadened. Its cheekbones expanded to anchor enormous jaw muscles. Its molars became flatter and more robust, designed not for slicing flesh, but for crushing woody stems packed with abrasive silica. If you've ever heard a panda eating, you'll understand the power of those jaws. Each bite produces a loud, woody crack that echoes through the forest. Hour after hour, day after day. Because, unlike predators that eat one meal and rest, the panda must keep eating. At first glance, bamboo seems abundant. It grows in towering stands across mountain slopes, producing thick forests where little else can survive. To the panda, it appears to be an endless buffet. But abundance isn't the same as nutrition. Most bamboo is made of cellulose, the tough structural material that gives plants their rigidity. Humans can't digest cellulose. Neither can pandas. This is where the story becomes wonderfully strange. Despite spending almost its entire life eating bamboo, the giant panda still possesses the digestive system of a carnivore. Its stomach is simple. Its intestines are relatively short. Unlike cows, sheep, or deer, it lacks the specialized stomach chambers needed to ferment large quantities of plant material. Nor does it possess the extensive microbial community that true grazing animals rely on to unlock energy from cellulose. In evolutionary terms, 7 million years sounds like a long time. But biology doesn't always change evenly. The panda's skeleton evolved rapidly. Its feeding behavior transformed. Its teeth became specialized. Yet its digestive system remained surprisingly conservative. Instead of redesigning its gut, the panda found another solution. Eat more. Much more. An adult giant panda may consume anywhere from 12 to over 35 kilograms, roughly 26 to 80 pounds of bamboo every single day, depending on the season and which part of the plant it's eating. Young shoots are rich in protein and moisture. Leaves provide different nutrients. Older stems contain far more fiber and far less energy. Throughout the year, pandas constantly adjust which parts of the bamboo they eat, following the changing nutritional value of the plant as it grows. Even then, much of what enters the digestive tract leaves almost unchanged. For most animals, that would spell disaster. For the panda, it's simply the cost of doing business. Imagine trying to survive on lettuce. Not for a week, not for a month, for your entire life. Every day would revolve around finding more food. That is the panda's reality. Its world is measured not in meals, but in mouthfuls. Nature has an elegant solution whenever energy becomes scarce. Spend less. If a lion suddenly had to survive on bamboo, it would starve. Its powerful muscles, large brain, active hunting lifestyle, and fast metabolism demand enormous amounts of fuel. The panda took a different path. Instead of increasing the energy it gained from bamboo, it dramatically reduced the energy it needed. Scientists studying wild pandas discovered something remarkable. For an animal weighing around 100 kilograms, its daily energy expenditure is exceptionally low, among the lowest recorded for a non-hibernating mammal of its size. Its body functions more economically than we would expect from a bear. Its thyroid hormone levels are lower than those of many other mammals, helping slow its metabolism. Its daily routine reflects that energy-saving strategy. A typical panda spends much of its waking life eating. Then, it rests. Then, it feeds again. Then, it rests again. To us, it appears lazy. To the panda, it's efficient. Every unnecessary movement has a cost. Every climb must be worth the effort. Every journey through the forest must lead toward fresh bamboo. Even social interactions are kept to a minimum. Unlike brown bears gathering around salmon rivers or polar bears competing over seals, giant pandas usually live alone. Individuals occupy overlapping home ranges, but direct encounters are relatively uncommon outside of breeding season. Solitude isn't merely behavior, it's economics. Sharing food would mean competition. Competition would require energy. Energy is the one thing bamboo cannot spare. Even the panda's movements reflect careful budgeting. Rather than rushing through the forest, it walks with slow, deliberate confidence. Its pace isn't dictated by fear. Very few predators are capable of bringing down a healthy adult panda. Instead, its pace reflects something deeper. A lifetime spent balancing every calorie earned against every calorie spent. In the panda's world, survival isn't about speed, it's about efficiency. And perhaps that's the greatest lesson hidden within these mist-covered mountains. Sometimes evolution doesn't reward the strongest. Sometimes it rewards the patient. Imagine walking into a grocery store where every shelf looks almost identical. Every package is green. Every label has been removed. Some contain fresh, nutritious food. Others have already spoiled. How would you choose? For the giant panda, this challenge plays out every single day. A bamboo forest may appear uniform to us, but to a panda, it is a constantly changing landscape of opportunity. Different bamboo species grow side by side, and each follows its own seasonal rhythm. Young shoots surge from the soil in spring, packed with protein and moisture. Summer leaves offer a different balance of nutrients. By winter, the tough woody stems, called culms, often become the only reliable food remaining. Choosing the right meal isn't simply a preference, it's survival. Researchers have discovered that giant pandas possess an exceptionally well-developed sense of smell, even by bear standards. Their broad noses contain intricate folds of tissue lined with millions of scent receptors, allowing them to detect an astonishing variety of chemical signals drifting through the mountain air. As a panda wanders slowly through a bamboo grove, it rarely eats the first stalk it encounters. Instead, it pauses. It sniffs. Sometimes it moves on. Other times, it settles in and begins feeding. That simple behavior reflects countless tiny decisions. The panda is likely evaluating the species of bamboo, its stage of growth, and perhaps even signs of stress or decay within the plant. Scientists are still uncovering exactly which chemical cues pandas respond to, but it's clear that any smell plays a central role in helping them locate the most nutritious food available at any given time. The forest may look silent, but to a panda, it is filled with invisible information. Its nose is also essential for another reason. Because pandas are solitary, they rarely rely on sight or sound to communicate. Instead, they leave scent marks throughout their home range by rubbing specialized scent glands beneath their tails against trees, rocks, or bamboo stalks. To us, these marks are invisible. To another panda, they're messages. Who passed through, whether they were male or female, whether a female is approaching her brief breeding season, perhaps even how recently the mark was left. The forest becomes a living bulletin board, read not with the eyes, but with the nose. Long before two pandas ever meet face to face, they've often been communicating for days or even weeks through scent alone. Few animals on Earth are as instantly recognizable as the giant panda. Children can identify one before they can read. Artists need only a few bold strokes of black and white for everyone to know exactly what they've drawn. But why black and white? At first glance, the pattern seems almost impossible to explain. Forest animals usually disappear into shades of brown, gray, or green. Camouflage tends to blend with bark, leaves, and shadow. The panda seems to do the opposite, until you step into its world. The forests of western China are unlike tropical jungles. Winter often blankets the higher elevations with snow, while dark evergreen trunks and granite outcroppings remain exposed beneath the white landscape. In 2017, researchers compared the panda's coat with habitats around the world and concluded that its unusual coloration likely serves multiple purposes. The white portions of its body blend surprisingly well against snowy ground and bright winter light. The black limbs and shoulders merge into the deep shadows cast by tree trunks and rocky cliffs. Instead of matching one background, the panda matches several at once. Depending on the season, the angle of light, and the landscape around it, those contrasting patches begin to dissolve into the mountain itself. If you've ever seen a panda photographed in fresh snowfall, the effect becomes obvious. The animal doesn't stand out. It fades away. There may be another role for those bold markings as well. Although pandas are solitary, they still need to recognize one another during the breeding season. Their distinctive faces may help individuals identify each other at close range, though scientists continue to study exactly how much visual communication contributes to panda behavior compared with scent. As with so much in nature, the answer is probably not a single explanation. The panda's coat may serve several purposes simultaneously: camouflage, reflection, perhaps even communication. Nature rarely wastes a useful pattern. For most of the year, giant pandas lead remarkably independent lives. A female follows familiar feeding routes through the mountains. A male patrols his own range. They may cross one another's scent trails dozens of times without ever meeting. Then, spring arrives, and everything changes. For just a handful of days each year, an adult female enters estrus. The window is astonishingly brief, usually no more than 1 to 3 days. Miss that opportunity, and reproduction must wait another year. As the breeding season approaches, scent marking increases dramatically. Males travel farther, investigating fresh scent marks and searching for females ready to mate. Sometimes, several males converge on the same female, leading to vocal displays and occasional fights, though these encounters are generally brief. Once mating occurs, another remarkable process begins. Or rather, doesn't begin. Unlike many mammals, giant pandas experience delayed implantation, also known as embryonic diapause. After fertilization, the tiny embryo does not immediately attach to the wall of the uterus. Instead, it enters a period of suspended development. For weeks, or even several months, it remains in this paused state while the mother's body prepares for pregnancy. Scientists are still studying the precise hormonal signals that control implantation, but the result is extraordinary. Only when conditions within the mother's body are right does the embryo implant and begin rapid development. The active stage of pregnancy lasts only about 50 days. Then comes one of the most astonishing births in the mammal world. A newborn giant panda weighs roughly 100 grams. That's about the weight of a stick of butter. Compared with a mother weighing around 100 kilograms, the cub is proportionately the smallest newborn of any mammal. Blind, pink, nearly hairless. Its tiny cries echo through the den like the squeaks of a newborn puppy. Looking at one, it's almost impossible to believe this fragile creature will someday become a bear weighing over 200 pounds. Yet the mother knows exactly what to do. She cradles the cub constantly, keeps it warm against her chest, rarely leaves the den except for the briefest moments. Unlike many bears that give birth while hibernating, giant pandas remain active throughout winter. Raising such an underdeveloped infant requires almost constant care during those first critical weeks. Sometimes, twins are born. In the wild, however, mothers almost always raise only one cub successfully. The energy demands of nursing two infants while surviving on bamboo are simply too great. It's a heartbreaking reality, but nature has always balanced survival against possibility. For the panda, every successful cub represents an enormous investment. There was a time when the future of the giant panda seemed uncertain. For centuries, bamboo forests across China were cleared for agriculture, roads, and expanding communities. As forests became fragmented, panda populations were isolated from one another, making it harder for individuals to find mates and maintain healthy genetic diversity. By the late 20th century, concern for the species had become global. The panda had become the face of wildlife conservation. But unlike many conservation stories, this one carries genuine hope. China established an extensive network of nature reserves across the panda's remaining range. Logging restrictions protected critical mountain forests. Habitat corridors began reconnecting isolated populations. Researchers used GPS collars, camera traps, and genetic analysis to better understand panda movements and breeding. Local communities became partners in conservation rather than obstacles to it. The results have been remarkable. Wild panda numbers have gradually increased, surpassing 1,800 individuals according to the most recent nationwide surveys. In 2016, after decades of conservation work, the International Union for the Conservation of Nature reclassified the giant panda from endangered to vulnerable. That change didn't mean the panda was safe. Climate change still threatens bamboo forests. Habitat fragmentation remains a challenge. Because bamboo flowers and dies in long natural cycles, isolated panda populations may struggle if alternative feeding areas are unavailable. Conservation is still essential. But for once, the story is moving in the right direction. The giant panda reminds us that when science, governments, and local communities work together, extinction is not always inevitable. Sometimes, nature is given another chance. As evening settles over the mountains, the mist begins to rise once more. The forest grows quiet. Somewhere beneath the towering bamboo, a panda finishes another meal. It stands, shakes droplets of rain from its thick fur, then disappears silently into the green twilight. No roar announces its departure. No dramatic chase unfolds. Its life is measured in quieter moments. The crack of bamboo between powerful jaws. The scent of spring carried on cool mountain air. A mother gently cradling her newborn. A solitary bear following ancient paths through forests that have echoed with these same footsteps for millions of years. The giant panda isn't remarkable because it conquered its environment. It's remarkable because it adapted to it with extraordinary patience. Rather than competing to become faster, stronger, or more aggressive, it embraced a different strategy entirely. It specialized. It slowed down. It learned to thrive where few other large mammals could. And in doing so, it became one of evolution's most unforgettable masterpieces. We share this planet with millions of stories, most of them unfolding in the silence of the deep or the shadows of the canopy. The giant panda teaches us that success is not always found in doing more, but in becoming perfectly suited to what truly matters. Thank you for journeying with me into the world of the giant panda. I'm Patrick Viersba. There are many secrets of Earth, if you only know where to listen. I'll see you on the next horizon. Until then, follow our coordinates by subscribing to or following the show. It ensures you never miss a step into the unknown.